Thank you so much for having me. I love that we've already seen a little bit of YouGov data here today. Thank you, Keith. I'm Boston born and bred, so go Bruins, and I have a Dunkin' cold brew every morning. But today I'd like to show you a little bit about what YouGov is. We're a full-service market research firm, and I want to show you our plan and track framework and how we can use it to evaluate product expansion and expansion potential for new products. So I'm a manager of client service. I work with clients from a whole variety of different verticals, and we share this framework with them to identify campaigns and success of campaigns afterwards. And our first point in our process is to identify a target audience. Then what we're going to do is we want to describe that target audience in depth and breadth. Third, we want to target that audience. We want to understand, once we know what they look like, when and where can we reach them. Then what we do is we move that audience into our brand index platform, which is going to be our brand health tracking platform. And in there, we can measure key measures over time for 1,700 plus different brands. And through that lens, we can evaluate campaign success. And this framework makes up our YouGov plan and track offering. And today, I'm going to take you through one particular case study using this same framework, and then we'll take questions at the end. So this case study is actually going to be about one of the QSRs that presented today, the Impossible Whopper. I don't know how much you guys are in the know with some vegan, vegetarian food. I personally love it. On April 1st, 2019, Burger King announced it was partnering up with Impossible Burger to create an Impossible Whopper, which they would be releasing in St. Louis. They picked April 1st. A lot of people thought it was an April Fool's joke, but on April 29th, 2019, they actually unveiled that they'd be releasing this Impossible Burger nationwide. And this Impossible Burger is essentially a vegan, vegetarian option at their restaurant. So a totally new, uncharted territory for a restaurant like Burger King. And so our question at YouGov was, is this announcement of a vegetarian option an impactful product expansion? So to get at that, we have two sub-questions. Our first one being, is the audience that might be attracted to this product offering one that is not already captured by the firm? Is this an audience that wouldn't cannibalize previous sales? And then the second question is, okay, now that we understand that the audience isn't one that would cannibalize sales, does the product announcement change opinion in that audience already, and how can we monitor it moving forward? So the first thing we did was we went into our profiles tool, which is, again, a tool for segmentation and media planning, and we segmented what a vegan and vegetarian consumer might look like. And this is someone who has decision-making in the household potential, someone that purchases and looks for vegan and vegetarian food in a supermarket. And what we found when comparing this population to a NatRep consumer, we found on average they were much more female, 18 to 29 years old, so we're looking at millennials, high income group. They live in an urban environment, typically in the Western United States overall. And we have a couple cool psychographics, including their belief in Darwinian evolution, karma, and spiritual energy. We took a look at some interests they had as well. Health and fitness and nature and the environment popped out as much higher than the NatRep consumer. Additionally, we took a look at, of our 1,700 brand index brands, what were their favorite brands? Amy's Organic Food, Larabar, Patagonia, Whole Foods, and REI all popped as being statistically higher than a NatRep respondent might look like. And then the important part for Burger King is going to be, of our QSR restaurants, are they currently being satisfied, and are they being met by the product offerings at Burger King? So what we did was we segmented the audience that would be the least likely to purchase food, and interestingly enough, Burger King came out as the #1 brand least likely to be purchased by this segment. So there's definitely opportunity here for Burger King to expand into this audience. And we took a look at some of the opinions that these respondents have, including restaurants should offer more vegan, vegetarian options. Definitely points to the opportunity presented. And they don't mind paying more for organic foods and specialty foods. And that's especially important because the Impossible Whopper would tend to be more expensive, and the Impossible Burger as a whole is more expensive than regular ground beef. So that wouldn't turn them off as a consumer group. The third opinion is they sometimes feel guilty consuming meat and dairy products. So our next step was to take this audience, and we want to really measure and evaluate the success of this announcement in our brand index platform. So what we looked at here is brand buzz, which is the net metric for positive and negative talking about a brand over the past 2 weeks. And we compared among vegans and vegetarians brand buzz for the QSR segment, including brands like Arby's, Chipotle, KFC, Long John Silver's, McDonald's, Subway, Taco Bell, and Wendy's. And we compared that to Burger King. And what we see here is over the length of the year, they typically tend to trend together. But at 2 particular points in time, Burger King kind of breaks from the pack. And these 2 points in time are when the Burger King Impossible Whopper teaser was released and when they announced the Impossible Burger and Impossible Whopper released nationwide. And we actually reached brand highs in buzz among vegans and vegetarians during those 2 time periods. So this is to say that even among that specific segment of vegans and vegetarians, Burger King was able to capture more share of mind than they had previously. And that's all well and good, but the next question we had was, okay, so vegans and vegetarians are talking more about Burger King than the rest of the category, but how does that compare to how a NatRep respondent, someone who might eat a normal burger at Burger King, talks about the brand? And so on this slide, we're looking specifically at Burger King. We're looking at a NatRep respondent in the gray, and in the purple, we're looking at a vegetarian and vegan. And what we found was for the first time in the year, and when we looked back previously for several years prior, vegan-vegetarian opinion increased past a NatRep respondent level post these announcements. And you can see the dramatic increases post the announcement. So that is to say that vegan and vegetarian opinion post the Impossible Whopper announcement actually increased beyond what a normal Burger King consumer might look like. So all that to say, we took a look at this audience through our plan and track lens, and we decided that there's definitely some positive opinion and people are talking positively about the brand after these announcements. And so the next steps for us are going to be, once the product is unveiled, we really want to track what these vegetarian and vegans will look like in their consumption habits moving into the future. So that's what we're excited to do next with this particular project. And we can take a little time now. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask.